All right, we're live now, and you're the host. Please feel free to make me co-host.
Hi, Shirley.
Hi, how are you?
Your hair looks beautiful. I know, you can now. Your hair looks beautiful.
I've got a hat on today. I like yours.
Okay, it's natural.
I
Hi,
like it.
Shirley, you have your hat, Sharon. Shirley is fixing her hair.
Yeah, well, it's always a process. Let's put it that way.
I know.
One
Yes,
look
dear.
for you ladies. At
I didn't
least
hear what
try.
you said. Say it again, Shirley.
I'm trying to look good for you ladies. So
Well, it's a good thing to do.
it is. It is.
And we have a team.
Hello, everyone.
Yeah, hello. I'm going to say hello. I'm working now with our TA. So if you have any problems, he's the person that you need to contact on chat, and his name is Anthony. Okay. Well, am I glad to see you all. Christina and Leslie, hi.
How you doing?
Good. Dorothy, this may be your first time with us, right?
Yes, it is.
Kind of flips all around. So, oh, hello, Janine. Good to see Sheila, Marilyn, Heidi. Okay. And there's, right, I'm gonna wait just a few minutes. Anthony, is there something you wanna say? Let me just see why he's raising his hand.
Sorry to interrupt you. I just wanted you to make me co-host.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Not a problem. Yeah, if there's any problems, you can chat Anthony. How is everyone doing? Hi, Jerry. How's everybody doing today?
Great.
Fair to Midland?
Great.
Great, I like that better. All right, well, let's get to class started. I'm glad that you're all here. So let's start. Okay, this is a class in creative writing. This is a fun class in self-expression, because although we will be writing, we also will be discussing some things. Okay, I'm Carol, and I'm your guide. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I'm a retired director of a family literacy center that provided academic assistance from K to college. And that was in the day, and then I was a college professor in the evenings. I always say education is part of my lifestyle, part of my DNA. Get Set Up helps you to learn useful skills from people like you so you can do wonderful things. We learn from each other. Ideally, we can see you when cameras are on. Request a recording after class. Email at getsetup.io. If joining by live stream, the best way to participate is to join us and register for a class. Get Set Up is not paid to promote specific products. Know that. Just one quick second here. Okay, I thought I had done that. I'm being told to do something else that I need to do. So just bear with me here for one hot second. Okay, good. All right, I have some housekeeping business that needed to be done. Okay, here's our agenda. Class overview. How does this class spark creativity? Benefits, shared exercises, and self-expression. So let me just give you an overview. This class is a creative class, primarily in written expression, occasionally with verbal expression. Everyone, please mute your mic. Both are creative self-expressions. That is, whether you write it or whether you speak it. Both are art forms that connect us to other people and the world as we share our written and verbal words. Both use word pictures to express the feelings and thoughts of the writer to the reader and the speaker to the listener. Both written and verbal self-expressions display your personality and unique point of view. So understand there's no right or wrong. Each person will answer and respond according to their life experiences and their personality. These art forms showcase your individual creativity. So that's the goal, your individual creativity, who you are. How does this class spark creativity? We use prompts to stimulate your brain's artistic activity. Responding to prompts help us to practice for those times when we want to say something, but are unsure of how to express ourselves or feel ill-equipped in expressing our thoughts. So that happens, I would imagine, often to all of us, where you want to say something, you're not sure, or you want to respond, but the more you practice responding, the easier it will be. Benefits of prompts. The benefits of practicing responding to prompts help with responses in real life situations. The prompt, like a question, causes our brain to work on an answer. So your brain is being stimulated, both the logical side and the creative side, left and the right sides work in tandem, they work together. So when you answer a question, both sides are responding. Prompts stimulate the imagination and encourage out-of-the-box thinking. Who would not want to practice responding creatively in your own individual out-of-the-box way to fun exercises and to real-life situations? So that is the goal, to encourage you to answer in your own way in real-life situations. Anyone have any comments? No comments? Okay, well then let's get started with some of the prompts. Hi, Cece. And Robin, glad that you're here, and same thing with you, Sue. Glad that
Hello,
you're-
sorry I'm late.
Oh,
Running
Hi,
from another
Carol.
class.
when you arrive, you're on time. For us, fun and relax.
Mhm.
I'm gonna kind of do kind of a cute one, maybe. What was your favorite television program as a small child? What characters do you remember the most and why? And you'll have a couple of minutes to answer. Be sure and mute your mics until we're ready to talk. Anyone ready to share? Hi, Joyce. Glad that you're here. Okay. Anyone want to share? Or you need a little more time? Shirley, are you ready to share? No? Okay. My favorite program was Ding Dong School. Does anybody remember Ding Dong School? Dink. Am I aging myself? Anybody remember? No? My goodness. Where were you people? My goodness. Howdy Doody? Anybody remember Howdy Doody?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Shirley.
Well, I've just got a list basically
Wow.
because I don't remember a lot of details, but and there was somebody with a bunny. She had this sweet little bunny or something like that. I really liked that show a lot. It was like a puppet, and it went on for many years. I mean, but maybe it was a bunny. I'm not sure. Then there was a gentle. It was kind of a boring show, but then there was a gentle giant from Canada, and he had these little miniatures. He'd open the drawbridge, and you'd see the little thing move here and there. It was kind of ditzy, but it was pretty good. The Jetsons, Fred Flintstones, and Soupy Sales. And I did not get his humor because as a little kid, but I just liked the motions. And I'm not a slapstick person, but I thought it was kind of weird. So
Okay.
that's my list.
That sounds good. I wonder if that's lamb chops with Sherry and lamb
Oh,
chops.
that's it, Lamb Chop. And that was not a bunny, it was a little lamb.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have to tell you, I was only 1 year old at the time.
Wow, amazing.
But I remember. Anyone else want to share?
I'll share.
Yes, Sharon.
Oh.
Okay, just open your mic, Sharon, so we can hear you.
Somebody else said they would share, but I would go ahead. I like
Yeah.
Bewitched. I like Samantha. She was my favorite. I like how she used magic to fix most situations. I like how she bridged worlds. Like her mother was always at the throat of her husband, who was Darren. And I liked how she overcame all the challenges from Darren's boss. He always seemed like he had gotcha moments, and she always had like a workaround. So
Okay, that's excellent. So Bewitched, yeah. Anyone else want to share?
I'd like to share.
Yes, please.
Okay. My favorite TV show as a child was The Howdy Doody Show. The characters were Buffalo Bob and Clarabelle. My sister, my brother, and myself was part of the Peanut Gallery 2 times. That is a great memory.
Oh, yes, good. It's howdy doody time.
It's howdy doody time. Yes.
Again, I was only 6 months when that show was on.
Okay.
Marilyn, you want to share? You want to share, Marilyn? Unmute
Yes,
your- Marilyn.
yes. So my favorite was Star Trek. I love the diversity of the cast. They had Asian, blacks, whites, aliens. Mr. Spock was my favorite character
Okay.
because he was unemotional and logical, and I can identify with that.
Mhm. That's great. I like that. I think what is this is not appropriate. This is the force be with you. I guess that's more of what I don't know. There is a sign that they have.
Yes, yes.
Is this it? I don't know.
I don't think that's it. I
Okay.
forget, but
Well, and
something
anyway,
like that.
That's
okay, well, Marilyn, let the force be with you.
All right.
that's
Go
I
ahead.
love you.
That-
I love you.
That's Star
That's it.
Wars.
Yeah.
That's
Go ahead,
Star
Shirley.
Wars.
Yeah. Well,
That's
You know,
Star
I was-
Wars.
I was
Star
only
Trek.
got
I liked the communications director who was a sister, and I enjoyed her.
okay.
And I've enjoyed her over the years. In fact, she was on Young and the Restless a couple of years ago.
Okay, so Oruro or whatever her name was. Of course, I
Nagoro.
was Adora. Forgive me. I was like
Nagoro.
Nagora. Forgive me. That's the name. Shirley, you had a comment. Oh no, I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, this is the sign for I love you. This is sign language for I love you.
Well,
I think the Spock thing is a different version. I think.
well, I send this to everybody. I love you. Okay. Thank you for letting me know. Anyone else want to comment? And if not, we'll go on. Yes, Christina.
And I like a comedy. And so Lucia Bow, and it's my real comedy show. And 2 housewives live together, have so much fun, travel around the world. And I think nowadays, I with my neighbor have good time together. We send each other a gift and make me happy for my senior year.
Great. That's very good, Christina. Very good. Glad to know that you have a neighbor. Anyone else want to share before we go on
Yes,
with?
Joyce. Yes.
Yeah,
I'll
Joyce.
share.
Like
Okay, and then
Jerry.
after that, Jerry, will you share after Joyce, please?
Yes.
Miss Joyce.
There's a couple. I like Sherry Lewis and Lamb Chop.
Mm-hmm.
And I also like Captain Kangaroo. And he had a Mr. Green jeans on his show.
Oh, yeah,
There
yeah.
was another person, but I can't remember who it was. But I just remember those for baby. Even when the Sherry Lewis and the Lamb Chop, I think was my favorite because when I happened to see one of the catalogs was selling lamb chop, I immediately wanted to get it for my granddaughter. So that's what I did. But my granddaughter, she's growing up and she doesn't like all the things she had. So I told her and her mother, don't give lamb chop away. Give him to me.
Okay. I hope they do give it back to you.
Yeah, that's what I told her. Give it to me.
We'll have Jerry and then after that, Dorothy. So Jerry, you want to share?
Yeah, my favorite was Hopalong Cassidy and Superman.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it's a bird, it's a plane. It's Super Jerry.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no more telephone booths.
No more telephone booths.
Yeah, he can't make a change anymore. Very good. I Hopalong Cassidy, I still watch. Remember it, but I still watch it because it's a history. Okay, Dorothy, if you'd like to share.
My favorite was I Love Lucy.
Oh yeah.
Because I was always getting into I was kind of mischievous, but I was able to get out of it. So
wow.
I like I Love Lucy and That Girl and Mary Tyler Moore.
Yeah.
But when I was aware of Julia best mirrored me. So I love Diane Carroll.
Okay. That's great. Right, very sophisticated lady.
Yes, she was.
See, etc. Does anyone remember Little Lulu?
No.
Nope. My. Okay. Can we go on now, or does anyone want to share? Some programs were more local, I think, too.
I think that's it. Yeah.
It makes me feel better.
I was going to say it's nice because you got me thinking about more and more things now. It's like, oh my gosh, now I remember this and that. So very nice hearing everybody's ideas.
Yeah, and even remembering, this is another thing you can do when you're alone. Remember some of these things and get a chuckle. If you watch them now, they would not hold your interest, of course. So let's go on with another prompt. I have enjoyed hearing some of your programs from the old days when I was a little baby. Okay, why not? As I ran into a convenience store for milk and bread, I saw a man asking for money. Using my debit card because I did not have cash, I paid for my articles and left the store. The man asked me for money and I replied, I did not have any money. He answered, why not? Meaning, why didn't I have money, particularly money for him? How would you answer? What would you respond back to him when he asked you, why not?
I would just say, why?
Don't forget, mute your mics and let everybody think of something, and then we'll come back and talk about it. I already know you have a good answer, Jerry. I already know that. Why not? Okay. You can keep writing while others answer. Anyone have an answer? What would you say when he says, why not? Dorothy, I see you giggling over there.
Because I'm so crazy. I probably said, because I'm on a tight budget. I can only use my debit card, but if you have some, I'll pay you back on Tuesday for a hamburger today. Somebody remember that?
Okay. All right.
That was from Popeye.
You would offer to buy him a hamburger.
No, I was just kidding. No, but I definitely would say I'm on a tight budget.
Okay.
So this is all I have. But if you have some and you want to share, I'll accept it. Because he didn't say he didn't have money. He was just asking me for money.
Oh, so you would ask him for money. Yeah, that is a turnaround. I don't think he'd be expecting that.
Yeah.
Mr. Jerry, you had just 1 second, Joyce. Mr. Jerry had an answer, and then Ms. Joyce.
Yeah, I would ask them why, because I just spent my money, and since you're obviously short, why don't you give me what you got, so both of us don't be short, and then tomorrow when I come in, I can take care of you.
My goodness. So both of you would ask him for money. Well, scary. No. Okay, Miss Joyce, what were you going to say? And then Marilyn, I see your hand.
Because I don't carry money, fool. We are a cashless society now. That's why. Now move.
Miss Joyce, again, you're real. That's all I can say. So you're letting him know that we're a cashless society. Okie doke. Thank you. Marilyn, you want to share?
Yes, I kind of went back and forth, and I had some answers, and then I thought, I don't owe him an answer. So, but I don't want to be rude. So I'd probably say no hablo inglés.
Okay, so
yeah, that's good. That's a good one. Yeah.
And hope he doesn't speak Spanish, because then
that's what I was saying.
I wouldn't be able to go any further.
Okay, because he may be able to speak Spanish and ask you in Spanish. Yeah, I see your hand too, Janine, and also Shirley, Janine and Shirley. Okay, you're a tough crowd. Janine, let me hear what you have to say.
I would say, sir, I don't have any money for you, and keep it moving.
Okay, that's simple and sweet. No doubt what you're saying. Miss Shirley,
right.
Sure. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Janine, did you want to say something else?
No, that's it. Well, one thing I would say is that years ago, I would say, sir, you need to get a job. But in this time and age, it's a little bit different.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Sure. I like there's an expression that I try to live by, and that is lead with compassion and follow with love. So
yeah. I can't find my raise my hand button on this thing. I don't know why.
Can you, Anthony, could you please help Sheila find her raise her hand button? Miss Shirley, may I hear Anthony will help you, Sheila.
Okay.
I've gotten deceived sometimes, so I'm a little more cautious. So I'd say at first, I'd say because, and then I'd say, but I wish you well.
Oh, okay. Just because you don't have to give him an explanation.
Exactly.
You just keep moving because.
And I wish you well.
Wish you well. And if he persists to say, because why?
I'm just walking off then, because I've been suckered too many times. Unfortunately, I've been suckered. Well, I could tell you a little story, but I will pass on that. It's just, you try to help somebody and sometimes it's a racket. So it's sad because sometimes people need money too.
Yeah, it's hard to gauge. It really is hard to gauge. Anyone else have any other comments that they want to make?
Yeah, I wanted to make. Oh, I'm sorry.
Wait a minute, just 1 second. I didn't know who the other person speaking.
I was getting ready. It's Sheila.
Sheila, please, and then Leslie, would you go after Sheila, please? Thank you. Okay, Sheila.
The reason I have no money is because I was in a flood, and my life washed away with the river. And now I come to you humbly and I ask for consideration so that I can buy some goods and I can eat tomorrow and tonight, and my children will have somewhere to sleep.
Well, I can just say you guys would chase anybody asking for money, you would chase them away. Don't worry. Miss, I won't ask any of you guys for money, know that. Miss Leslie?
Yeah, I would probably ask them the same question. And then I would also tell them not to assume that people always carry cash. And because there's so many people possibly using homelessness as an excuse or blatantly lying, I would be very cautious before I would give them anything.
Okay, I want to.
Can I just say one thing, Carol? Okay, I noticed there's a theme among everyone that they're cautious, they're afraid of scammers, they're all of these different things. But my mother owned a grocery store, and I still have the book where she gave credit to a lot of people in the Bronx, and a lot of those people are now very well known. So I come from a different perspective. I'm not, if you don't have any money, I may ask you why, but you need to explain yourself. And why aren't we opening our hands both to give and receive?
Exactly. Okay. Well, some of the reasons I've heard people have been scammed so many times, Sheila. But I have a question.
Could I say
Joyce, go ahead. Yeah. Yes.
When you're on the subway, you are a captive audience. And I have been in a situation where one person comes in and tells his spiel about getting money. And then me and a friend of mine were on the train, and one person came in for money. It seemed like after he left, somebody else came and was asking for money. And then it happened a third time. We started cracking up because they're always there. You can never just explain. You just have to sometimes ignore them because it is constant. It's never just wanting. 3 times it happened in 5 minutes it happened. So it's like, and you're a captive audience. You can't go anywhere on the subway, so you get.
I truly understand.
Wait a minute.
I truly understand, and I'm a native New Yorker, so I understand, and I traveled the subway all my life. But what I'm saying to you is that as I have grown older, I recognize that there are reasons people are where they're at, and when and where they enter is not something for me to judge. So all I'm saying is that as a Christian, I open my hand to both give and receive. And then because I am smart enough and I have my New York sense, I know when to give and when not to give.
Okay, but sometimes too, I agree with both of you. But I'm going to hear what Mr. Jerry has to say, then Miss Dorothy, and then Miss Shirley. The 3 of you. So Mr. Jerry, Miss Dorothy, and then Miss Shirley. And then let's hear what you have to say. Go ahead, Mr. Jerry.
Yeah. Well, I'm not in New York City at this time, but I spent 40 years there. And in New York City, they have a place called a beggar college, where they guarantee that when you graduate, you can go on the street and beg, and you're guaranteed to make $400 a week. And I've seen that happen. I'm not saying that you couldn't give, but they play on your, what's the word I'm looking for?
Emotions.
Well, beyond the emotions, they play on your desire to give because you've been taught and trained that you must give. So they play on that and you give. There's nothing wrong with giving, because in my scenario, I didn't say that I didn't give. You said that a person was in the store and they came up and asked for money. Now, you didn't describe, or the person who asking for money was not given a description of how that person was to determine if and when they needed money. In a generic sense, they asked for money.
Okay.
All right. Well, evidently, if they're begging, they got some change. So I asked them the same question that I asked them, because if you want me to give, what is your heart in giving? Because the more you give, the more you receive.
Well, good points. All of you have excellent points and different perspectives because you've all had different experiences. So Miss Dorothy and then Miss Shirley.
I agree. First of all, they just asked for money. They didn't ask for money because they were hungry. And we should be cautious now. We should walk with wisdom. And I'm a Christian. I give through various organizations. I give to individuals, but you do have to use some wisdom. And so when a person just come up and ask me for money, I don't know what they want to use it for. So I have the freedom to say what I said before and just keep walking. Because if they're hungry, they'll be clear. They'll let you know, I'm hungry, or could you buy me? That's a difference.
That's probably the same spiel they give too. I'm just kind of numb.
Right, but it's wise if you're on a move, if you're out in public, especially seniors, we do have to be wise. Walk in wisdom. And if they really need money, refer them to another resource. You're not the resource. We don't have to be there at ATM. That's just it.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss Shirley, one minute second, Miss Joyce. I want to hear Miss Shirley's point of view, then we'll go back to you. Miss Shirley?
Sometimes I'd be taking my kids, this is quite a few years ago, to the credit union or the bank or whatever, it was on a corner. And people would be waiting, and they know you went and got money, something happened with money. So I'd come out, a couple times they said, oh, I need something to eat. I'd say, you know what, just let me know what you need. I'll be back in a few minutes. And so I take my kids, we buy them some burgers. This happened 2 times. One time they waited for the food, the second time they didn't. And because I thought, you need food, you're hungry, I'll get you some food. And if you're interested, that's what I did. And I got kind of pulled aside by a woman who had a really good spiel and, oh, I need some money so I can stay overnight somewhere, please help me. And she looked like she really had a rough life. And so I'm digging for money. I called an agency to help her get a place to stay and blah, blah, blah. And then I come out of the grocery store, oh, she still needs money. And then she forgot what she'd said. She said she didn't have anything. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I already gave you money. So then she was sitting in another spot of the parking lot the next day. And I thought, oh boy. So I think I've been scammed, so.
Okay, you have to be, so I'm hearing we have to be cautious. I'm hearing we have to allow our intuition kind of guide us. A couple of things. Miss Joyce, you had another comment before we move?
Well, it's just there's another. It's really about safety. I mean, there was a situation one time when a woman was asked for money and on the subway, and she was opening her bag to give some money, and the bag was stolen.
Right.
So you can't show people you opening up your bag to give them money. You just can't do that because you don't know who's looking. Exactly. It don't even have to be them. It could be somebody else.
Exactly.
So
yeah, you're right. You're right. And I caution you too regarding having your pocketbook next to you in the car.
Yes.
Yeah, and I've experienced that kind of craziness. So be careful with that window down when your pocketbook is there. All right, if it's
can I share something else?
Sure, absolutely.
I did have an incident where this woman did ask me for money, and I was right by my car, but I had my purse in my hand, and I really didn't have any cash money. So I opened the door and just threw my purse in, locked the door right back, and I said, let me pray with you. Now, I usually don't close my eyes, but for whatever reason, I closed my eyes, and I guess the prayer was a lengthy prayer. But when I opened my eyes, she was gone. I didn't see her anywhere. So I'm not saying that's the answer, but it worked that time.
Okay, whatever works. Okay, is it all right if we go into another prompt now?
I don't know, that must have hit somebody. That hit us. That hit a nerve right there.
Yeah, I think we've all experienced that. And I thought it was, actually that prompt was from a friend who was getting gas. and the person asked for money, and then he actually asked her, this is the one, why not? I mean, I thought that was impertinent. I thought that was a little bit much, but it tickled me when she was telling me the story. And that's what that prompt is. That's based on a real life situation. And we do encounter these things. So we need to be prepared in how we're going to handle these things and not be caught off guard. Any comments from anyone else?
I just want to say thank you for the advice, because I'm a little soft sometimes. So anybody, you want to be kind, but then you see the regulars and I'm like, okay, here they are again. So yeah, but thank you.
Yeah, but sometimes too, it's good for your wherever town or city, know some of the feeding spots, some of the open where they have soup kitchens. So you can refer them to a soup kitchen and there they'll also get social services to help them. But that was based on, a lot of these things are based on true experiences. Okay, if we may go on now, I thoroughly enjoyed all your answers. And don't worry, I'm not going to ask you for money because I don't know your answers. I'm just being silly. Okay, here's something. People, which do you know? Now, listen to this. Some cause happiness wherever they go, others whenever they go. Do you know people described in this quote, write about them? Does everybody get the quote?
Wait a minute. Some
cause happiness wherever they go. This is a person that comes and gives happiness. When they come, they give happiness. Others, whenever they go, meaning when they leave, then you can be happy.
Oh, I didn't get, oh, I'm glad you said that.
Okay. Right. And I'll give you an example. I have an aunt, and my aunt, when she says, I don't mean any harm, but what follows the but? I don't mean any harm, but Dorothy, you know what? You need to clean your house more or whatever it is. I don't mean any harm, but Shirley, do something about yourself. In every family occasion, whenever you hear her say, and you can be like in the background, I don't mean any harm, but, and then harm comes. So that's the kind of person. Some bring happiness with them. Some, there's happiness when they leave. So do you know people like that? And if so, let's share, write about them. So here's the prompt. I'll put it up again. Don't forget, mute your mics. Don't forget, mute those mics. Anyone ready? Okay, please, Janine, you want to share?
Yes. My sister Enid has a model, and her goal is to spread joy and happiness. She is funny and generous. For example, she has brought food for strangers when they ask for it. She has given them $1 or more. And she gives to her relatives, her poor relatives, in her husband's poor relatives in Barbados.
Very good.
Another example for her is that when she sees firemen, she loves firemen, and she'll say to them, "Can you tell me what are the qualifications to be a fireman?" And they'll tell her some things, but she said, "You forgot one thing. You have to be drop dead gorgeous, because you firemen are drop dead gorgeous," and they just fall out and they love it.
Very
Now,
good.
the person that people are happy when they leave, when she leaves, is my friend who has a weird personality. And she doesn't realize she has a weird personality and that she offends people, and she doesn't get it. She doesn't understand. But people are happy when she leaves.
Okay, thank you. Your sister sounds wonderful, and your friend does
Thank
sound
you.
a little different. Anyone else?
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Miss Joyce. You have to unmute yourself. Don't forget unmute.
Yeah, there's a cousin-in-law, a distant cousin, who may be on the homeless side. And every time when I go to the BRC, if I leave or I go, he's always there, and he always asks for money. So that's like that was so common that I can see him coming and going. Now, my late friend, Winnie Taylor, she was funny, she was wise, and had more common sense than anybody I knew. She just brought happiness wherever she went.
Very good. That's a great tribute to Winnie. That's great. That's wonderful to know someone who brings happiness wherever they go. Anyone else want to share? I love that quote. I think that quote is so good. Yes, Shirley.
I'll share.
Or then after that, Robin, can you share after Shirley, please?
I will, yes.
Thank you. Miss Shirley?
Great prompt. I definitely know some people that fit both descriptions. What a joy to spend time with my Aunt Esther. She just turned 84, by the way. She's wise, she has a sharp wit, forthright, but always kind. She has a great love for life, family, and friends. When you spend time with my Aunt Esther, you feel refreshed, encouraged, and uplifted, but you also get to speak the truth. And there's a lot of laughter when you spend time with her. I've had people in my life that used to make me grit my teeth when I'd see that they're calling, and I'm just trying to be nice to this person. I'd be like, oh my gosh. And then I would feel, I would listen to a monologue for about 1 hour. And eventually she found out enough about me that I was able to speak a few words that she found out about me, and I fit the bad list, and she dropped me, which is not okay.
So you were okay with being dropped?
Yeah, it was okay with me.
It was a badge of honor in this case.
Yeah.
Okay, anyone else want to share? It's
Robin.
such a great quote.
Robin, right?
Yes.
Robin, yeah, forgive me. Thank you. Forgive me, Robin. Give me
You
something for my
forgot me,
age.
Carol.
No, give me something for my age. You know, I'm only 30.
Well, speaking of 30s, I too, it is a good prompt, because I came up with 2 people that actually were living together for a while, and that was pretty. My daughter is my ray of sunshine. Whenever I'll be spending time with her, my mood improves before we are even together. She is always positive, supportive, and funny, brightening my day.
That's great.
I have another relative with whom she lived for a while. She was his baby's caregiver, who is the flip side of that coin. He is always negative, confrontational, and surly. That's as far as I got, but it's a prompt for the future.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Well, you certainly gave me a picture image of both people. I see someone, you know, uplifting, and then when you said surly,
yeah,
just encompassed. I got a picture of him, so that's good. Very good, Robin. Anyone else want to share? Okay. Any other comments before we go on?
I'll share.
Yes, please.
Okay. I have this cousin who offends other relatives' dishes at family functions. She compared their dishes with deceased relatives, even though in the past she talked about their dishes as well. How do you compete with the dead? So most of us are happy. We're ecstatic when she leaves because she's our food critic. And we don't understand, how could we compete with somebody's dead?
Great person to invent family dinners. Great. Anybody else? Jerry, did you want to share?
Yeah, I share. I have this friend that when he comes into the room at a gathering, it lights up the whole room. Everybody gets excited and glad to see him, and he's always complimenting people and carrying forth, and everybody's happy. Then I have another friend who would show up, and he's very condescending, and he tries to be funny. He thinks he's funny, but he's not. And then when he leaves, everybody's glad to see him go.
I love it. I love it. Hate to see you come and glad to see you go. But that quote is by Oscar Wilde, and I think it's just so appropriate. If no one else wants to share, I'm going to go on to one more prompt because our time is running out. Anyone else? I don't want to leave anyone out. Okay, let's go on to something else. And it's going to be an easy one, a quick one. Okay, you know I like to celebrate holidays. The historical part means something to me. Yesterday, June 8th, was National Best Friend Day. Write about your best friends. Just, you know, a quick kind of, I guess, summary about some best friends that you have. If you have any. And if you don't, it's okay.
It's the same.
Excuse me? It was National Best Friend Day yesterday. That's Best Friends Day yesterday. So let me know, who are your best friends? Even if not current, some of your best friends. I know you mentioned Wendy, Miss Joyce. It was a great tribute to her. So let's just see if anybody else has best friends. So you'll have just a couple of minutes to just think of them and share. And I'll put the prompt back up so that you can see it. Okay, anyone want to share a few of their best friends or one best friend? Jerry?
Yeah, I have a few. I have my friend Frederick from New York, who constantly calls every now and then to check on me, make sure that both of us are doing all right where we are, because I'm in North Carolina. And then I have my friend Salam, who constantly calls, and if I come across something historical that biblical that they need to be shared with him, and I would call and we would share different ideas and thoughts together. Then my friend Jean, who she constantly calls to check on me to make sure that things are going all right and to give me an update on her life and what she's doing and everything. And then there's my friend Al, who since I came home, who's constantly coming by to make sure I'm all right. If anything, if what you call EMS come by, he'll come run over to the house right quick to make sure it's not me.
Mhm.
And vice versa, and we look out for each other. There's so many other friends that I had that I grew up with that got me to this point. So they are all over the place. But they say when you have one friend, you're lucky. Well, I can count at least 10 on my hand that would die for me.
Fantastic. You have you're a really, that's a blessing, and you have a wealth of support and friends, and I'm glad to hear that, Jerry. That's a good thing. That's really a good thing. Anyone else want to share a little bit? Miss Leslie, you're nodding your head. Does that mean you want to share, or you're just agreeing?
Yeah. One of my dearest friends is more like a sister. Her name is Shirley, and she's been with me through tragedies and triumphs. I'm godmother to her children. And when I was going through my breast cancer battle, she took time off from work to go with me. And she has been there when my parents died, when my siblings, some of my siblings died. I mean, and we're getting ready to celebrate her birthday next Saturday.
Oh, great.
But yeah, she's been there through thick and thin, and we call each other our ride and die buddies. So yeah.
Fantastic. Anyone else want to share? Miss Christina, you want to share, and then Miss Jeanine after that?
Okay. And I'm so blessed. I have two good friends. One friend is my neighbor, Sue, and we're so close. We share everything, our belief and our family, and also our children. And I also have one good friend, and we know many years. And because we're senior and we share and our future and the lifestyle. And no matter what happened, and the good or bad, they always be with me.
That's good. Christina, thank you for sharing. That's very encouraging. It encourages me to hear about these friendships. So that's great. Anyone else? Miss Jeanine, I believe you were going to share.
I have 3 best friends.
Okay.
And one is my sister Enid, which I spoke of her before. And we became best friends as adults, not as kids. And she takes no stuff. She gives good advice, and I love her dearly. My travel partner, Elaine, is my other best friend, who we cruise all the time on the ship. I get mad at her. She gets mad at me, but we're still best friends. And we became best friends when I had to put my dog down 20 years ago, and she came with me. And from that time on, she was my best friend. And my other best friend is Janice. And Janice, who always volunteers somewhere, especially with the elderly. And even though she's considered elderly now, we all are. But we always say about Janice, she's so good that we know that she's going to heaven.
That's great. Jeanine, thank you for sharing that. And it's interesting that with all of you, tragedy has caused these lasting friendships. You know, and that's it. A friend will be with you through thick and thin, and a friend doesn't move that easily away from you. There's really another part to this, but I'm not going to be able to do it. So we may redress this down the road. But I want to encourage you, because our time is running out. Please take a minute. Jerry, please call Christine, go see your friend. Jeanine, please, with your sister, take a minute and let them know how much you appreciate them. I know you do it, but make a call specifically for that purpose. Send an email specifically for that purpose. Send virtual flowers. You know, you're apart, but you can easily get the icon for flowers. send some flowers, and just, Jerry, man, I really appreciate you. And that's the only part of my call, just to tell you, thank you. And that's it in the call. So I want to encourage each of you by the end of the week, please let your best friend know how much you appreciate them. And it doesn't have to be a long thing, but make that the specific reason why you call or email them or FaceTime them. Nothing else, just it. And I'm going to say that to each of you. Shirley, Dorothy, Leslie, I enjoy you. You are my best computer friends. I have friends on my computer. Janine, I'm coming to know you. Jerry, thank you for being here. Christina, Miss Joyce, I always say you're real. And girlfriend, you are real. Robin, thank you so much for joining us. I do appreciate your comment. And Sharon, love your hat. And I love your hair color. Sue, thank you. Marilyn, thank you too for being here. And of course, Anthony, our tech, thank you. But I want you, just as I'm telling you, I appreciate each of you. And I thank you for being with us today. So I have to end now, but I have a few little things that I must say.
We appreciate you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now just give me a
Thank you.
minute. I have to do this. I want to thank you, and Get Set Up wants to thank you. Share your experience, hashtag at Get Set Up. Liz at Get Set Up, and Liz is a real person. Some classes that you may be interested, travel on Google Earth. And also I have creative writing, and I'm also gonna do something on Juneteenth. Also public speaking, evening unwind. Just, you can look under Carol and find some of my classes. I hope that you join me again. When this class is over, I'm going to send some notes. And also we need your feedback. Please give us feedback. This way we know we're meeting your needs. It matters. It matters for the guides to hear from you. And invite a friend, invite a buddy to come along with you as you go through the Get Set classes. That's fun. Last thing I have to say, the Get Set, and I want to say it too, spread the word about learning with Get Set Up. Come host an interest group. Just let us know. Suggest a class you would like to see on Get Set Up. We partner with assisted care, senior living, government and community organizations. Request session recording or share idea for a new class. All of you are veterans, so you probably don't need to learn how to navigate. So we're ready, we have 1 minute left. And so this is very appropriate for me. Bear with me. Make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and the other gold. So thank you, my new and old friends. We'll see you next time in class, and take care, please. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.